Welcome back, everybody. We are Web3 DJs. Great to have you. We had a little bit of a curveball today. I know we put an announcement out. We were supposed to have Joab from Tezotopia. We were really pumped for that, but his kids got COVID. So he did promise to come back. We're still going to do a giveaway there. But in other news, we've got some really exciting stuff to talk about today. We're going to break down VeeCon. Why is it important? Who is Gary V? What is VeeCon? And then we're going to talk a little NFTs at the end. Sticky?
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We always tell you if you enjoy this type of content, the best thing that you can do for us is tell a friend about it. Otherwise, yeah, go ahead and smash that like, comment, and subscribe button. And we want to let you know that we have some outstanding guests lined up. As a matter of fact, this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, we'll be going live with Blake Jameson. He's actually one of my favorite sports artists. Knew about him before the NFT space, and he went ahead and launched his own project that I'm sure you all are familiar with called Knights of Degen. So we can't wait for that to air. Everybody stay tuned for that. That'll be Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. But in other news, like Hofstra said, he's actually going to be shipping out to it's St. Paul, correct?
Minneapolis.
To attend VeeCon live. So why don't you go ahead and start us off? Talk to us about VeeCon. Who is Gary V? Why is it important?
I mean, this is the talk of NFTs right now. This is kind of a culmination of the last year. And it's like our NFT coming out party, I guess. And Gary V, if you follow NFTs, if you're on Twitter, the guy's a machine with just texting and NFTs. He's like the prophet of NFTs. So some people, it's like whatever Gary says is like gospel. And yeah, I'm actually in VeeFriends. I got a VeeFriends series too. I wish I would have minted early on. I think the floor's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 ETH right now. It was as high as 20. But he's been talking about this, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts where he was explaining why this is important. So he's kind of been on the circuit for all these like business leadership, entrepreneur type things where he goes and talks to people, corporate companies, and just he's kind of like a motivational guy. And he's a best-selling author, I think 5 times, but just has been doing stuff in Web 2. And he's just a well-known figure. And when you bought a VeeFriends Series 1 early on, he was saying, this is going to give you access to the conferences, and there was no conference. But the way that they priced it was kind of going to be comparable to what one of these conferences would run. And if you've ever gone to a conference like any sort of like Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone, they're a couple $1,000s usually to go to these things, sometimes 5, 10, depending on what it is. And so they priced, I think when they minted at 0.5, and it's just ran from there. And the cult following that this project has, I mean, people followed him in Web 2 for years. And, so when he got into this, it was kind of an obvious play. Looking back on it, but he's probably responsible for at least 5 people I know that are in the space that are making content, that are doing stuff. So super positive guy. And can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also just wanted to tag on real quick to what you were saying. I think what's really interesting, and let's just put this in a practical perspective, is you see Gary V just tweet about a random project and that floor starts running up. I mean, people really take his word as law. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was actually just tweeting Gary V to tune in to Web3 DJs, and every now and again he'll come. He's one of those guys that preaches like his ears to the ground, and he's trying to find, stay in the streets and keep it real and all that. But anyway, so what is VeeCon? I just pulled up the website right here, VeeCon.co, and this is in the frequently asked section. So VeeCon is a multi-day super conference with discussions and performances from iconic and emerging leaders in the NFT and popular culture. The event is a first of its kind NFT ticketed conference for Web3 community to come together and build lasting friendships, share ideas, and learn together. So I was on a Twitter space the other day, and I asked them, why Minnesota? So right here, it's in Minneapolis from May 19th to May 22nd. And what they said is instead of going to like a New York or an LA or a Miami, that we could take over the town. And so they picked a smaller place, but had, something that was, the infrastructure was really, really good. And it makes a lot of sense because the community in NFT is super strong. And to have that many people come in where there's less distractions is gonna make for that, really personable interaction with the people that are coming. So I heard one guy, he's coming from London. I mean, we got people coming from all over the world, and it's all we've been talking about for a month and a half. And so there's like 5 of us going, shout out Back Alley. And everybody's pumped. We're already talking about what we're going to be doing. And so let me just go here and give you a little breakdown of the speakers. So you might know a couple of these names: Snoop Dogg, Flocious, big artist in the space, Beeple. You've got Eva Longoria, FaZe Banks, if you're into gaming. Pharrell Williams, that's one of the ones I'm super interested. Mila Kunis, she didn't put her face there, but that's one of her stoner cats. You got Danny Cole from Creatures, Steve Aoki, Deepak Chopra, Logan Paul. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You got Micah Johnson from Octars. You got Bobby Kim from the Hundreds. You've got the CEO of Rally, if you're into like collectibles. I mean, so many freaking people. Chuck Liddell.
Come on, the
Ricky
Iceman.
Williams. I mean, what's the girl? Charlie D'Amelio. She's going to be there. Super big on TikTok. My daughter's pumped to see her. But I mean, look, this is just the speakers. We're not even talking about like the rest of the people that are going. You got Seth Green. Look at that. You got.
Is that Dez? Right. Was that Ape? Dez Bryant's? Scroll up a little bit. Right there, that
Dez
Ape.
Bryant.
Oh,
Yep.
Dez.
Bryant.
Come on.
Let's see who else we got here. We got. Yeah, man. I mean, just so many freaking people. So I got this email. Let me see if I can find this. It says, what's happening at VeeCon? This is on their blog. So basically Thursday, and it sucks because I'm flying in Thursday night. I'm going to miss the kickoff party, and the kickoff party has tons of people that are going to be there. And I was like, shit, I should have booked it a little bit sooner, but coming from New Mexico, it's a little bit of a stretch. So 5 to 10 welcome party. Friday doors open, happy hour, VeeCon concert. Saturday. So basically, it says right here, get to know your fellow attendees, take part in an abundance of activities perfect for breaking the ice, including a paint party led by Flocious, Embrace North, mobile saunas, and a Gary V selfie station, a live Shark Tank presented by State of Minnesota. That's just the kickoff party, but then it goes into like Friday, you've got all the speakers, and then they have different stages. So you're going to have a main stage. I don't know if it shows it on here. Oh, dude, look at this. This looks sweet. Main stage, and then they have like break-off stages. So you kind of have to pick who you want to see because they're all going to be going kind of at the same time. But just imagine that list of people right there in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've never been to Minneapolis, but like all congregating at this one place, and there's 10,000 people going to this. And the only way that you could buy this ticket was buying the NFT. So right now, the price for one of these is about, where is it at?
0.2, 0.19.
$411, which was so much less than what I bought it for. I paid 0.6 and I paid 0.58. Some of my buddies paid 1.7 when this drop happened.
Wow.
So this is what is it? What is his name? The artist Squiggles. He did why am I blanking this right now? Watch, I'll show you. This is the artist that he collaborated with. So it's kind of like his second drop after his first major drop. Let me find. Yeah, right here. Art Blocks Curated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Art Blocks. I can't remember his name right now. But he collaborated with Gary V. And so what he was saying is you get these tickets and then you can keep them, kind of like a Woodstock type thing long term. It might have some
makes sense.
Some nostalgia to it. But yeah, man. So just tons of stuff going there. And there, oh, this right here, partner activation experience. So here's the sponsors. You've got Gala Games. Apparently, there's like a gaming station that they're putting on. Rally is putting on a flea market. So I think it was like 50 vendors. So they're gonna have like sneaker vendors, card vendors, kind of all the stuff that Gary Vee's into. He's into garage sailing and flipping sneakers and trading cards, and like that was his whole background. So he's bringing
Oh,
that
wow.
here, so you can buy stuff, you can trade, you can do all of these things. But like one of that's a Tezos where they do a lot of music, Candy Digital,
I mean, Coach, Chipotle,
Coach, Gymshark,
Gymshark, like those are huge
Newplex,
names. Yeah.
Performer. I mean, it's super sick. Like, I don't even know what we're going to really. I mean, I know it's a conference. I'm trying to like curb my expectations a little bit because I don't want to like make it out to be something crazy and then it doesn't go off the way I think it will. But I have a pretty good idea. I mean, he's been doing conferences for years, and this is kind of like his version, the way he wants to do it. If you ever watch him on Twitter, on YouTube, he's always talking about like, just wait. And if you know anything about him, when you hold this stuff, like his whole thing is delivering value and just exceeding expectations, especially people that doubt him. Like, I think that's what I hear him say the most is he gets fueled off of that. And so I can only imagine that, with those names and in a place like that, it's going to be sick.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I have a couple of thoughts there. So, professionally, I am a data analyst, and so this field is evolving rapidly, much like NFTs. I mean, obviously, NFTs are evolving at a much more rapid rate. But for comparison's sake, let's just hold on to that. So, I've been to several conferences that are oriented around data science and this sort of thing. Tableau, SAS, all these different conferences. And the number one thing that I think every time that I leave a conference is, wow, I don't know how you call yourself a data analyst and you don't come to a conference like this. I feel like if you don't go, you're almost left behind because the space is moving so quickly. And so now to take this into the NFT space that's moving at an even more rapid rate, I think it's going to be really interesting the leg up that you have from attending an event like this and the experience that you'll be able to kind of bring with you. I think you'll definitely be ahead of the pack.
yeah. I mean, I went to NFT NYC last year, and that was like, it wasn't the first one, but it was when all the hype was happening in
Yeah.
November. And it was cool. He was there, like he was all over that conference, but this is his. And I just pulled up, a little bit about him, and I was just researching, but where does it say? Keynote Angel Investing. So he was early on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. I mean, he's been around this for a long time, but
What's funny?
I may not be the smartest person, but I know the number one reason that businesses succeed is timing.
Sure.
And if we're in a space that's a year old, everyone says we're early, but how early are we? I mean, if this is the first kind of major conference around this, I mean, there's, Art Basel they have. There's a bunch of like crypto related conferences, but this is kind of like the first NFT Web3 on a main stage with big sponsors and lots of celebrities and lots of hype around it. And so I hope what happens out of this is we get more people that are interested. I heard a couple of people, like the first time they ever opened a wallet and bought anything was this ticket.
Wow.
And like, actually, the CEO from Rally told me that. He said, my friends and my parents specifically got a wallet and opened it for the first time just to go to this. And actually, that's kind of something to talk about, the interface. So what you had to do is you had to get the app and then connect your wallet to the app. And then you had to register. And I don't think I've ever seen something like that. And I was just going through this thinking, man, this is the future. When you go to a sporting event, when you go to a concert, this is what it's going to be like. So it was very seamless. And then like on the app, I don't know if I can pull this up. You can do a bunch of cool stuff on here.
Yeah, I've actually seen some people say like, "Hey, unfortunately, I'm not able to make it. Can I transfer somebody my ticket who's going so they can do all the things and then transfer my ticket back once it has all the accommodations.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah,
that's my ticket, right?
yeah,
And then when I went through this, if you go to conferences, you know how like they scan your badge?
right. You have a
Well, this has
lanyard.
a function in the app where if I met you and I was like, hey, who are you? When you register, it has your Twitter handle, it has your Instagram handle, your email address, and your phone number. And all you do is scan it, boom, and it goes into a contact feature on the app.
Oh, that's
So a
awesome.
lot of the stuff that they did, because they make apps that are designed just to do this, like when you go to these things, but to integrate that, and it's like, I don't know, just the professionalism and everything I've seen so far is very well thought out. Like this is definitely not their first rodeo, and it looks like they applied a lot of really smart, sophisticated things into the interface and using the technology. So I don't know that there's ever been another conference that they've used NFT technology as a ticketing function, which was just kind of cool. I was like, oh man, this is like a little glimpse into the future of what things are going to look like. So, yeah, I don't know if you can tell I'm excited. I am
Definitely.
like, I'm ready to go. I got like, I was going through my sneakers. I was like, what am I going to wear? Everyone's trying to rock their NFT gear. It's like, I don't know, just the hype, man. I hope it's all love. I hope everybody has a good time and it's just, everything that it, is made out to be. So, super
Oh,
excited.
I think it's going to be a blast, especially like you suggested, you're going to be in a city that's essentially going to be taken over by the NFT freaks like you and me. And so I think it is going to be second to none. I actually have thought that out of the big conferences, NFT LA, NFT NYC, I know Art Basel is kind of borderline there, but I've always thought that I would like to attend VCon out of those if I was going to attend one of them. And I also want to hit on what you said earlier about how your ticketing function is kind of going to be the future of sports, concerts, this sort of thing. For that reason, I've actually thought about buying a ticket, despite not being able to attend VCon, just to hold on to it. Because here's what it comes down to: imagine if you had a ticket stub from I don't know, Babe Ruth's debut in baseball. Imagine what that would be going for. And so this is the same exact concept here. So I think it's really interesting. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows what VeeCon or the space is going to be like in 10 years? What if it's, the bee's knees? Then having one of those tickets will definitely have a little bit of value.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, that would be cool. I think more than anything, just being a part of something for the first time, being in this space as long as I mean, a year. I got into it last March, but I'm considered OG, I guess, if you will, just from being, here when it first started. But there's been so many of these like aha new moments that like just constantly blow my mind and go, damn, this is why I want to be in this space because I wasn't there for, the .com boom. I
Right.
wasn't there for any of this. So the emergence of crypto, the emergence of NFTs, the new technology, Web3, if you will, is the new internet. When you start talking to people in the regular world or real life, no one gives a shit about NFTs. They don't,
Right.
for the most
Yep.
part. And
Yep.
that's why I want to do it more because I'm like, if everyone's looking over here, I want to be over here, and just be a part of something new and have that, 20 years from now, looking back in those meaningful relationships and those people that I met that was like, remember when we were doing that? So
Yeah, most
anyway,
definitely.
I could go on this topic forever. So anyway, that's VCon. We are going to be doing some live streams. Some of the
Absolutely.
homies that are going to be there. I'm going to try to get some people to come through and then do some live streaming and at least give people a little bit of a taste. So follow my Twitter. I'll be posting a lot. You'll be able to kind of see what's going on. I'll be putting some videos up, and then hopefully me and Sticky, with the back alley crew and a bunch of other friends, can just jump on and talk about what's going on and bring you guys in a little bit.
Absolutely, which is a great point for us to bring up. If there's something you want to see, you're not able to attend like me, maybe you shoot us a message and we'll see if we can make that happen for you. If you have any questions about VCon, definitely let us know. This is the type of thing that we want to put out. We want to put out stuff that's beneficial, right? And so along those lines, if you're enjoying the show today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, tell somebody else about it. That being said, should we go into the second portion of the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's run it. So there's no secret. Everything's down. We're in a bear market. Everything. This is, of course, not financial advice. Do your own research, this sort of thing. But I wanted to quickly talk to you guys about, how we're navigating the bear market and kind of a couple of things that we're looking at right now. So the first thing that I do want to talk to you about, though, is quirkies. Quirky. So I will say I kind of fumbled the ball here. I had the opportunity to I was whitelisted for quirkies. I didn't follow through with that. There's just a lot going on in my life, so on and so forth. New to the space, whatever you want to call it. That being said, quirkies blew up. If I would have bought it, it'd have probably been doing better than any other of my holdings. So Quirky's version 2, called Quirkling, is coming June 2022. I think it's actually coming June 3rd or June 2nd. And kind of the lore behind it is basically that, this is going to be their V2, right? This is their clones if you're into the Gutter Cat gang. This is the Alien Friend Evolution if you're into that as well. It's kind of their V2. And basically what they're saying is like there's an evil force that's invaded Quirksville.
Oh, that's cool. I like the lettering.
Yeah, sorry. Basically, it's saying there's an evil force that invaded Quirksville, and so the Quirkies are out to find their long lost allies, which are the Quirklings. And basically, what they're going to do is there's going to be the collection currently has 5,000, so they're going to allow, if you currently hold a Quirkies, they're going to allow you to claim one for free. Something that's interesting here is that they're going to allow you to claim for up to 60 days, which we always talk about the number of kind of like financial or fiscal experiments that are going on in the space. I think this is just a prime example of another one of those. But yeah, they're going to allow you to claim a Quirkling for free if you're currently a holder, and then they are going to also release 5,000 additional, which will be whitelisted or public sale. And so that's going to happen June 2nd, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Personally, I just think it's really cool. I think the project did well. I missed out on it one time. I'm already whitelisted for this, so I'm going to go ahead and try and grab it a second time. I'm going to grab their V2. I think if we look at the quirkies, yeah, at the time that this episode is being recorded, they're around 2.4, which I haven't really been monitoring them since this bear market, if you will, but I'll just suggest that like 2.4 is doing better than a lot of my portfolio right now. I know that sometimes people try to, do some math and say, okay, well, if the original is priced here and they're going to release, this many in V2, then theoretically it should be priced somewhere in this range. Honestly, I don't really fall for any of that. I think everything's kind of, up to, there's so many outside influences for every single project that I think it's really tough to kind of, use a rule that goes across all of those. But yeah, I think if you look here, it seems like they've still been holding pretty steady since it's definitely a slight decrease, but they've been holding pretty steady. And so I think this is definitely a great sign. Something we talk about is like, I'm not saying this is the crash, the, proverbial market crash that everyone likes to talk about, but the sentiment around that crash is that what we want to see is projects that are kind of holding their value, or projects that have crashed but didn't go away and continue to grind and to bring that value back. And so, what I'm suggesting here with quirkies is kind of a sign of that, if we would call that. And so, do your own research, not financial advice, but that's something that I'm looking into right now.
Now is the time to buy. Everything's pretty low. I mean, I was going to say super low, but there's been a bit of a bounce back on the market. But buy the dip. So right now, I mean, everything Sticky's saying is on point. Plus, there's just a lot of other scoops that you can get on, especially on Series 2, like those second editions.
Yeah. 100%. And I think something that's really interesting about Series 2 is it really just provides a price point for people to get involved in a project that they've liked for a while, but they were priced out of, right? The Gutter clones did that for me. I loved the Gutter Cat gang for a long time. Actually,
yes,
come
sir.
on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I love the Gutter Cat
that?
gang. Yes, sir. Yeah.
You went on and got that? Oh, man, I missed that one.
Yep. They got a sweet thing. The back's even cooler.
That's sick. That's the one they dropped in New York.
Chicago. Right? Yep. Yes, sir. So yeah,
man,
but
your merch game's on point, dude. I gotta step my merch game up.
Come on now. Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason, not that I got into this space, but that I like respective projects, is that they're going to put out merchandise. I told you before, my fiance thinks my style is whack. So now I'm hoping that the NFT game will kind of help me change that.
Go
So
to
slowly,
VeeCon, dude. You'll be like the man. Every
sure.
NFT nerd's gonna be like, oh, sick.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, like I was saying, man, the Gutter clones gave me that opportunity. I liked the Gutter Cat gang for a long time. I was priced out. They put out their V2, which are the clones, and I was able to pick up, I think, 3 for point 0.1 and, make profit off of them, enter the gang, so on and so forth. And so I really like V2s for that reason. The next thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about, I can't take full credit for. We have to shout out again to our friend Pio. So when we did the show with Pio, Hofstra actually asked him, like, what are some NFTs that you would buy under point 0.5 right now? And one of them that he brought up is called the something token. And
Did
so
you
when
buy
he
this?
first, I have not bought it yet. So I will say I had a chance the other day to buy it at 0.07. And man, I
I know
didn't pull the
that,
trigger because I thought gas was too high. And it's like, no, look, no,
and then
I'm
it doubled.
right. So he told us about this. I'll be honest, when I first looked it up, actually, when he first told us about it, he said, yeah, it's an Alexis Ohanian project. And I remember
The
thinking,
guy from
like,
Reddit.
yeah, who the heck? I had no idea who the heck Alexis was. So I actually listened to some of the Kevin Rose interviews with Alexis, the Modern Finance and the Proof. And yeah, he's the founder of Reddit. He's doing some really cool stuff. So after listening to those and kind of understanding a little bit about who he was, I decided to do an additional layer of research. And so this is actually really interesting, this something token. So basically, like, what the something token does is it provides you early access to the early access and discounts to Americana. And so you, in order to really understand the value about something token, you need to understand what Americana NFT is. And so Americana NFT, it's really cool. It says here, in real life NFTs in real life, buy, sell, and trade things made completely on chain. So, of course, I'm really interested by that tagline on its own. But basically, what they are attempting to do, or what they are doing, is allowing you to take anything, and sell it online as an NFT. And so I'm trying to think, what exactly does that look like? So upon doing some more research, basically what they are going to allow you to do is, or how their business model works rather, is if you want to sell something, like say I have a truck out here, say I want to sell my truck. What they are going to do is send me a chip, a microchip, and I'll just take the chip, throw it in my glove box. It's going to sync with the Americana website, and now I can sell it on chain. Now my truck is on chain, and I'm able to sell it as an asset on the blockchain. So the same thing can be said for here Pokemon cards, fashion, a nice piece of art. The skateboard deck or this Magic Johnson. What I could do is with this Magic Johnson jersey behind me, I can sign up on the website. They'll send me a chip. I'll just tape it to the back of the frame right there, and I can literally now obviously there's going to be a process. I have to upload it like you would list any other item, but then my Magic Johnson jersey can now essentially be sold as an NFT. So if somebody buys it from me, I ship it to them, and it would have all been done on the blockchain. And so it's
Huh.
really cool. It what it is doing is it's leveraging the NFT technology of like being able to verify ownership, right? And so I think it's a really awesome thing.
So then,
Again,
how does that work? So you do that, and then you send it off to like someone that grades it, like
no,
how they do for sneakers.
so I think they're trying to work all of that right now, but I believe you kind of do the grading yourself. It'll have certain things in it that would allow you to, um, one, try and limit, especially like we saw what just happened with Nike and I think it was
Artifact.
StockX, where they were selling fake Nikes. So they're attempting to put in some constraints here that will help combat some of that, right? So like a Louis V bag, they'll ask for the serial number on the bag and these sorts of things in an attempt to try and prevent them from being forged or counterfeit. But all of that's going to be worked out, or they're gonna have to try and figure some of that out because, like you said, that is a huge opportunity, right? For me to, I bought a pair of sneakers and had that happen to me. It was graded as something that was, let's just say, higher than what I received, and so yeah, that's definitely a great point that they're going to have to figure out. Basically, the way I'm looking at this is for 0.14. If I had an opportunity to invest in Reddit or something else that he did at this price, I would hop on it a million times. And so if I really believe NFTs are the future, I think this is like, to me, at this point in my life, a relatively low risk investment that I think I may take advantage of in this bear market, right?
Hey, so there's like I'm looking at it right now. One just sold for 1.5, right? What's the
Yeah.
difference between this one at 0.27, and the white one at 0.13?
Yeah, so it'll actually be additional, basically like discounts.
Legendary.
Um, yeah, yep, definitely. And so I think there's going to be a couple of things there. One will be like the rate at which you incur, I guess like we would call points on a credit card and that sort of thing. And then the second thing would be just kind of like your opportunities to take advantage of the flash sales. You may have early access. They may provide additional discounts to holders who hold these and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's really cool. And I do just have to share real quick. I had listened to him talk for a while, and a couple of times, one of the podcasts I was listening to, he talked about buying his crypto punks, and he said, I wasn't able to find any that looked like me, so I actually found a couple that looked like my wife, Serena, and that's what I wound up buying. I bought a couple and I gave them to her, and I listened to that and so on and so forth, and I didn't really think much of it. I brought this up to my fiance, and she goes, "Oh yeah, Serena Williams," and then I had to do an additional layer of research. So this man, he's accomplished across the board. I think he's a guy that I'm gonna put a little bit of stock into. Pardon the pun. We'll figure a little something out there with him.
Alexis Ohanian. Give this guy a
Yep,
follow.
there he is.
Man,
Absolutely.
I've heard so many podcasts where they're talking about this guy and just how he invests and how early and just the things he thinks about and how he gets into them. And again, betting on the jockey. That's what everyone's talking about, right?
Precisely.
Bet on the
Exactly.
jockey. So yeah, it might not make sense, but the guys, you create Reddit, and then I think he's had a bunch of other successes prior to Reddit or other businesses that he invested in that have just ripped too.
Oh,
So
I would believe it. Yeah. I think you nailed it
Alexis
though.
Ohanian. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah, I think you nailed it in terms of just like betting on the jockey. That's exactly my logic here. And for the price point, uh, let me just put it to you guys this way: I have spent 0.14 Ethereum on much worse, much worse.
yes. Trying to find.
Are
Okay.
you just pulling up like investing in it?
Yeah, just okay. So almost always the earliest possible stage, including 10 something or other. And oh yeah, Coinbase. That's right. He was an early investor in Coinbase. That's the one I was listening to. Why he got into it, because the guy explained like, I want to make it easy to buy Bitcoin, and it wasn't easy. And so he was in some sort of like tech startup thing, and he was like, oh yeah. He didn't understand it, but then he said because in Reddit, I guess there was so much traction with Coinbase and these groups that were forming for crypto that he was
Mm.
like, yeah, there's got to be something here, and he invested in this in Coinbase because the guy that was building it was a stud, and he was like, okay, cool, but like, yeah, look at, I'm an investor in startups almost always at the earliest stage possible, including 10 decacorns. That's 10 billion and plus valuation companies. Damn, 10 decacorns. Coinbase, HubSpot, OpenDoor, Instacart, Impossible, Gusto, Reddit, Flexport, Row, Sky Mavis, So Rare, Pipe, Clubhouse. Damn, I guess he's just like, if you
He's a
got the
beast
money and you're in the
for
right
sure.
spot, goat.
I
Man, I got
mean,
to learn about this guy. Definitely. You sold me. Sold. I'm buying one.
there it is. Yes, sir. And let me tell
I just
you,
put some.
again, if you guys like any of the advice that we're giving out here and you take action on it, we want to hear about it. Good, bad, or the ugly. Let us know. It's encouraging, and we'd love to learn how we can improve as well. And the last thing I wanted to say about Alexis, though, is that if it says anything, man, this dude, Kevin Rose, the Moonbirds proof, so on and so forth guy, he was essentially begging Alexis to let him invest. Right? He's like, look, I know you're not taking money from this, that, and the other, but and they were just like nonchalantly talking on the show about how Kevin Rose like was able to talk Alexis into taking $7 million from him, just nonchalantly. Yeah, and so
I
I
don't
definitely
need your
think,
money, but if you want to
right.
give it to me,
Yeah, so I definitely think there's a ton of opportunity there. But before we go, I know 0.14 can still be a little bit expensive, right? That might there was a time in my life where that, I mean, still honestly in many
Actually,
regards,
right
that's a
now,
lot of
think about
money.
it though. I mean, with ETH down to 2,000, 0.14, you're getting a really good price on anything because ETH is low.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of low prices, I wanted to make sure that I left you guys with something that's actionable for pretty much everybody. So this is something that I actually have already went out and bought. I did buy it yesterday or the day before. It's called Crash Test Joyride. So one of my homies was actually talking to me about this. He's a stock guy. Shout out to Fiji Trades, my boy Fiji Trades, if you hear this. He was the first one to tell me about this, and instantly I did like the art. It was cool. It kind of reminded me of ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky said, "We don't wear clothes, we wear pieces," and that's kind of what was coming on here. And so when he told me about it, I looked at it, I saw the floor. I didn't really think too much of it. But then again, when we had our show with Pio, he has on his link tree Pio's vault and Pio's like, I guess, what he sells. And so Pio actually was holding 3 or 4 of these as well. And so I was like, let me go ahead and take a second look. Bringing things full circle. Again, my fiance hates my wardrobe. I need to improve that. So, Crash Test Joyride is actually a project that, for lack of a better phrase, is kind of oriented around streetwear. They have a really cool website. You can see, it's definitely interactive where you can kind of like drag and drop these things in and create, I mean, just for fun, a little guy here. Um, Yeah, so sorry, I was playing around here.
That's
But yeah,
cool.
basically they are a project that's oriented around streetwear. And so when I did some more research, it turns out that they are actually launching a clothing collection in June, so next month, and it's called Azaleas. Um, Basically, I mean, their clothing, I think it's gonna be really cool. The last thread is going to be sewn in May, I believe. Let me pull this up. Yeah, so it says the last thread's going to be sewn in May. The capsule is launching in June 2022, and it's kind of inspired by this color scheme, one of the backgrounds that they had in their project. The holder benefits are pre-sale access. You get exclusivity on certain collections, which I guess is cool as long as the collection's cool. But the at-cost discount, so that's something that I was interested in, of course, right? If I can pay, I think it's like 50 or $60 right now to get some discounts down the road. I'm definitely into that. And so, really, what this comes down to for me is I like the art. I need to up my wardrobe and look at the price point here at 0.039. I thought, again, I've spent, I think it's 50, 60, maybe $70. I spent 50, 60, or $70 on way, way worse in my lifetime. I think the art's cool. It might be kind of like, it kind of gives me like indie vibes. It's underground right now, but I think they have the potential to do something cool. I'm not saying this is going to make you millions and millions of dollars, but it's going to provide utility to me in the form of merchandise and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that the threads come out pretty sweet. They have a pretty cool community. I got in the Discord. Everybody showed me some love whenever I join. And again, what it comes down to is the price for 0.039. I found
It looks
let's see if
cool.
it's
No, I was
on.
just checking out. They got Medium articles. Their stuff looks pretty quality, at least from a content side.
Yeah,
Do you
definitely.
know who the founders are? Like who's behind the project?
Yeah, so I did some research into that. So they're actually 3 individuals who I've not heard of before. I don't know that they have a ton of. I'm trying to pull up the one that I bought. I don't know that they have a ton of like reputation in this space or life. But they have what I would like to kind of refer to as like a cult following. Like the people who are down for them are really down for them, and I know that that definitely is the case in NFTs as a whole. But I'll just suggest that.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't know
here
if
we
you
go.
saw this, but you remember when we had Toby Laswam with Weather Report? Did you see
Yeah,
the on Monday is the claim for the merch drop? And the cool thing about that, just sorry, I know it's off topic, but it's a free claim. You don't have to buy the merch. You just, if you're a holder, you just go on, select what you want. You can buy stuff, but super dope.
yeah. They have. Awesome merchandise as well. They've got a shirt that's like a burger shirt that I think I'm gonna buy, and then they've also got a YG shirt as well. But yeah, the Crash Test Joyride. This is the one I bought this week. So you'll find if you search my portfolio, I really like projects that have this wave. My mom actually got me this giant print of a wave like 4 Christmases ago, and it's been hanging in our house since. So anytime I see a project that has that wave on it, I don't know, it's a little near and dear to my heart. I never thought that it would have come full circle. As a matter of fact, I kind of hated it when my mom got it for me. I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with it? It's giant. Like, what am I going to do with this giant Japanese wave? Where am I going to put it? I've never even seen this thing before. And now I've got like 3 or 4 pieces that have that as kind of like the background. So, but yeah, that's all I've got. The bear market, I will say, despite my feelings, who knows what's going to happen? I think the largest red flag is if you are talking to somebody and they are suggesting that they're an expert, right? We have no idea what's going to happen. You need to be careful. That being said, to Hofsha's point, this might be the best time to buy that you will ever have, right? Or it could be the worst. Who knows? I like to adhere to the risk it for the biscuit strategy, and I love biscuits. So
I'm gonna keep buying. I just threw another 1,000 in this week. I missed it. I was hoping to get Ethereum at 1,700. It's at 2,000, 2,100. If it keeps going down, I'm gonna keep buying. That's how much I believe in the space, and that's just me. But to me, it feels like discount shopping.
absolutely, I think it's a great opportunity to buy some potential large name brands in the future. And yeah, to close the show out, man, of course, like we said, always like, comment, and subscribe. Tell somebody else about it. But here's what it comes down to. The things that I've learned from the stock markets that have paid dividends here in the NFT space come down to a couple of things. Shout out to Mr. Zach Morris. 1, buy when you're sad, sell when you're happy. Everybody's sad in the bear market right now. Perhaps a great opportunity to buy. Number 2, eat dips, not dicks. I'm buying the dip again. Here it comes down to it. It's just the best opportunity that I've had to buy these projects that I've been wanting to get into for a long time.
Right.
And yeah, do your own research, not financial advice, and trade your plan.
Absolutely. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close on a high note. Thank you so much. If you watch this, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend.
Yes.
If there's anything that you want us to talk about, anybody you want us to have on, let us know. We've got some heat coming. We've got some straight heat in the next month. So stick around. Some of the people that are going to be on here, you will not regret. So thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And go Suns. I haven't checked the end of the game, so.
No way. I'm a Mavs fan. I think it's MFFL, Mavs fan for life now. Come on now. Yes, sir. So, yeah, absolutely. Blake Jameson on Tuesday. Knights of Degen, one of my favorite artists in the space. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, tell somebody else about it, and tell us what you want to see. Well, he is at VeeCon. What you want to see on the shows coming up. Thanks as always, everybody.
Peace.